Here is the operator signal today. AI is splitting into two very practical lanes. At the frontier, reasoning models are starting to contribute to real research. At the enterprise layer, open and efficient models are getting good enough to run inside environments you control. Start with OpenAI. On May 20th, OpenAI said one of its internal general-purpose reasoning models disproved a long-standing conjecture in discrete geometry around the unit distance problem, first posed by Paul Erdős in 1946. The important detail is not just the math headline. OpenAI says the proof was checked by external mathematicians, with companion remarks explaining the argument. That is the pattern to watch. AI proposes, specialists verify, and the final artifact becomes part of a human review chain. For operators, that matters because it changes how we should think about high-value AI work. The model is not just drafting a memo. It is generating candidate discoveries, arguments, tests, and paths through a problem space. But the value is only real when the workflow has verification built in. In research, that means peer review and proof checking. In business, it means source review, audit trails, approval gates, and clear ownership. The second signal is Cohere's Command A+. Cohere released it open source under Apache 2.0 as a sparse mixture of experts model with 218 billion total parameters and 25 billion active per token. It supports text, images, tool use, reasoning, and 48 languages, with a 128K input context. The operator detail is deployment. Cohere says the W4A4 version can run on as little as 2 H100 GPUs or one Blackwell B200 with minimal quality loss. That is not just another open model announcement. It is a statement about sovereign AI becoming more practical. Regulated teams, governments, healthcare, finance, manufacturers, and enterprises with sensitive data do not always want every workflow routed through an external model endpoint. A model like Command A Plus gives those teams a stronger option for private agents, multilingual RAG, multimodal document workflows, and internal co-pilots that need control over data, latency, and infrastructure. The third signal is NVIDIA's Nemotron-Labs-Diffusion research. NVIDIA introduced a tri-mode language model that can operate auto-regressively with diffusion or with self-speculation. In plain English, it is another attempt to make language models faster by generating more useful work per forward pass. NVIDIA reports that the 8B version decodes 5.9 times more tokens per forward than Qwen 3-8B, with better accuracy, translating to 4 times higher throughput on Speed Bench, with SG-Long on a GB200 GPU. Why does that matter? Because the agent era is inference heavy. Agents do not call a model once. They call models repeatedly, search, reason, use tools, check outputs, retry, summarize, and escalate. So throughput, latency, concurrency, and verification cost become product features. The best agent stack will not just use the smartest model. It will route the right task to the right model with the right speed, price, and trust level. Here is the operator playbook. First, separate discovery from decision. Let AI explore ideas, generate hypotheses, search documents, and draft options, but require human or formal verification before you let it make claims, spend money, send messages, change systems, or advise customers. Second, build a model routing map. Use frontier reasoning models where novelty and depth matter. Use open or private models where control, repeatability, cost, or regulated data matter. Do not make every workflow depend on one model vendor. Third, measure the whole loop, not just the answer. Track latency, cost per completed task, failure rate, escalation rate, source quality, and review burden. A model that looks cheaper per token may be expensive if it creates more review work. Fourth, invest in proof surfaces. Citations, logs, traces, intermediate artifacts, test cases, and reviewer notes are not paperwork. They are how AI work becomes operationally usable. My read, this is a bigger week than the average model launch week. OpenAI is showing what reasoning systems may do in expert discovery. Cohere is pushing powerful open models toward private deployment. NVIDIA is attacking the inference bottleneck. Put together, the message is clear. The next phase of AI is not just smarter answers. It is verifiable work, running where the business needs it to run, at a cost the workflow can actually sustain.